Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing Portrait Professional Studio 9. You would expect that to be right in Photoshop, but it's actually a standalone application. So open that application up. We can get started by looking at one of the images that they had actually shipped with the product, and that's the first step. Go ahead and select that. Next, select a gender. It's female. Go ahead and select that. Okay, select the left corner of the left eye. Okay, left corner of the left eye. Here's my crosshair. Move the crosshair to the left corner of the left eye. Okay, select the right corner of the right eye. Okay, easy enough. Okay, tip of the nose. Okay, around here. The left corner of the mouth. Okay, and I am looking for the actual end of the mouth. That's what I'm assuming, instead of where the color drops off, because the color drop off would be somewhere closer to here, but I'm going to put it right out here where the actual mouth stops. Okay, right corner of the mouth, again, same thing. Drop that right over here. Okay, adjust the outlines. Okay, it's asking us to move around the different parts so that the facial features are highlighted, the eyebrows, the eyes, and it's saying that with some of that stuff, it's going to be, it doesn't have to be exact, and even a non-exact fit is going to give you a better result. So I don't understand why that would be. It does not make a whole lot of sense to me, but we'll move it around and do the best we can to get it to fit. Okay, move around the eye so that lines up. Pull that in a little bit. Okay, pull this down, over. Okay, and it is highlighting in the example. Whenever we highlight over one of these points, it highlights the exact same point over here in the example window. Okay, so we're highlighting this one. So for example, if we weren't sure if it needs to end at the white of the eye or a little bit inside, we look over here and it looks like it's ending inside of the kind of the fleshy part of the eye. Okay, looks good. Okay, everything looks good there. Okay, then click next, or you can click your spacebar. Okay, this especially doesn't look like a good fit, but we're just going to do the best we can, trying to get the eyebrow to fit in with what we think it should be. Okay, so I'm going to drag that around a little bit again, match up the eye. Okay, pull this in just a little, pull this down quite a bit. Okay, and just about done. Okay, that looks a little strange. Okay, next. Okay, is the mouth open or closed? Mouth is closed, and you'll see that as we click mouth closed, one of these lines will disappear. Okay, so now we're going to again drag these lines to the point where we're outlining the mouth. Okay, go. And you'll notice that as we're adjusting one point, it's adjusting multiple other points. So I'm not really sure why it's doing that adjustment. It looks like maybe there's something having to do with this point and this point being the exact same spot. I don't know. It's also adjusting the nose though too. So maybe it's got some other things going on where there are rules built in that are not real obvious. Okay. We'll pull that here. Here. Okay, just about got it. Okay, that looks pretty close, so I'm going to go ahead and click next. Okay, step 4, line up the blue outline with the outline of the face in your picture. So it's asking us for the overall outline of the face. So we're just going to drag stuff around until it looks like it fits in general what the shape of the face would be, even though there are things kind of in the way. There's going to be hair in the way, there may be a hand in the way. We're just going to drag it around to what we think it probably should be as far as the shape of the face. Okay. Probably somewhere around there. Okay, that's around there. Okay, and I'd say we're pretty close. You can look around and see that it's getting the actual shape of the face for the, and the only thing we're adjusting here is the outermost parts of the face, just to get it to line up. Okay, so next, okay, it's adjusting the picture. Okay, now the enhancements. You can tell that it's already done quite a few enhancements, but there's some additional options that it gives us over here, and this is really one of the things that I thought was actually kind of made this different than just a regular Photoshop kind of thing, because there are plugins that you can do this with pretty easily to get to this level, but there are some fine-tuned adjustments in here that you really wouldn't be able to do too well. So I'm just going to kind of start playing around and showing you what the different sliders do, and I think this is where maybe the real power may come in. If you're doing a whole lot of adjustments and you don't want to be using maybe Liquify a whole lot, you know, or other things of that nature, this could help speed it up. So I'm just gonna take the there's a slider here for head. I'm gonna take it and kind of drag it, and you can see that the shape of the face is actually morphing, kind of like a Liquify filter. It's morphing it in and out. So there's out. Okay, looks like it adds weight in, and it elongates the entire head, and is dragging everything so it's a little bit longer. So I'm just going to put it, and it's got little, if you can see in the slider here, it's got a green area, maybe like the safe area is what I'm guessing, then it goes yellow, and then red. And I'm guessing red means, hey, you're in danger zone here. I don't know. So I'm just going to leave it at the end of the green zone here. Okay, the jaw, again, similar. It's kind of like a Liquify effect. You can pull that in so it looks like they're losing weight, because that weight is hanging out right around here, a little bit here, and if you pull it in, it gives the appearance that they've lost some pounds. Okay, nose. Okay, if the nose is obviously too big or too small, adjusting a little bit, but this really looks like it's just, it looks like it's trying to affect the angle of the nose rather than the size of the nose. So I'm going to leave it pretty close to, I think it was somewhere around here. So I'm going to leave it pretty close because I don't want to be messing too much with the nose. Okay, the neck. Okay, you can actually increase or decrease the size of a person's neck, but you'll notice the hand is in the way, so the hand's also getting stretched. So this is kind of a, if you've got any other kind of props or anything like that, you're going to be stretching some parts that you may not want to stretch. So I'm going to leave the neck alone because I don't want this hand to appear any longer than it already is. Okay, the eyes, it's adjusting the shape of the eyes, and it looks like it's also adjusting the shape of the eyebrows and kind of the surrounding areas. So I don't want to do anything super crazy with those, because here's all the way over to the right in the red zone. Here's way back at 0. I'm going to leave that right where it's at. Okay, mouth shape. Okay, it looks like this. If you drag it to the left, it's actually making the lips more plump. And if you drag it over this way, it's kind of it's squishing the lips in. So I'm actually gonna. It looks like you can actually change this so it's almost. It's changing her expression. So it looks. At this point, you can drag it all to the point where she's got kind of a sassy look instead of just this, you know, just a flat expression. Something more like this is going to say, is going to be a little bit more attitude. So I'm going to put it right around there. Okay. Imperfections. Okay. It's gonna. This is kind of like a blurring of the skin. It looks like, and you can take in, or it's really, honestly, looking at it closer, it really does not look like it's doing a whole lot on the actual sample image. So I'm not sure. Oh, I do see it now. There are right here. I see an imperfection, and if you drag that up, that is getting rid of that imperfection a little bit. Okay, thin wrinkles. Drag that back and forth. Okay, I'm seeing right around the mouth is where I'm seeing the biggest difference here, because she's kind of got some kind kind of wrinkles, maybe some dimples here. And if I'm dragging this back and forth, it's getting rid of or putting back those dimple lines. Okay, find shadows. Okay, now I'm seeing a whole lot. It's going too far though. I can tell that right over here. Take a close look. If you can see it, the shadows, whenever I'm doing the shadows, it is really bleeding the skin, it looks like, onto the hair is what it looks like. So I'm going to leave that pretty well alone. I think it was around here. Okay, remove pores. Okay, the value is at 30 right now. It looks like I can hardly see, I can't see any pores, in fact, right now. So I'm going to take that down just a little bit because I want to be able to see some pores, and I still can't see a whole lot, even dragging it down a little bit further. Okay, skin smoothing. Okay, I'm dragging that up and down. Again, I'm seeing some bleed out, it looks like, onto the hair. But as I move it, I'm going to keep it right around here and kind of go with that. Okay, the balance and hue. I don't need to mess with the colors much. I'll show you what it does. And our value is at 4 right now, but I don't need to mess a whole lot with this. You see some green introduced at this point, it looks like. So I'm going to leave it right around where it was, right around here. Okay, skin hue. Okay, left for green, right for red. So really, you wouldn't be, especially on an image like this, you wouldn't be going anywhere green for sure. If anything, if you wanted to warm the image up, you can go a little bit red. I honestly think that it doesn't need much of anything, so I'm going to leave it pretty close to the original value here. Okay, texture. Okay, you see what this texture does. When correcting the skin, how much texture to add back in. Okay, let's try it. I'm not seeing any changes in the image at all, moving this texture slider back and forth. So I'm just going to leave it right where it was because I don't see any difference. The tan. Now this is one I have done before, that I did a quick test on before the video, and it looks pretty interesting. So this is, if you want to remove tan, it looks like, you can drop it down. If you want to add tan, which is probably a lot more likely, you can move it the other direction. So I've got this at, right now, 57, and that actually looks like not too bad of a tan. Like for an estimation on a tan, that's not terrible. Okay. Change area skin flighters by using the brushes above. Brushes avoid edges so you don't have to be careful. Okay, so last time I did this, it actually ended up smudging quite a bit. So I'll show you where it thinks it is, and I thought that I needed to make everything purple that was skin. It's got splotches, and I'm really not too sure. It even thinks this part is skin up here, so it's not quite 100%. If you can see up here. Let's see if we can do. Okay, there's a cut back button. Let me try this. This is the first time I'm doing this. Okay, so maybe I'm going to try to cut this back a little bit and see if I can get some of this purple. There we go. It is. It's cutting out the purple here. Because I see that there's purple where there shouldn't be purple. So I'm going to cut this out and see if that helps out any too. Okay.